When I grew up, there was a place called Chester Store. I grew up in Spokane Valley. For people who don't know where that is about 3 hours east of Seattle, thank God. And I grew up a free-range kid. From the time I was probably 7 or 8 years old, we would walk to Chester Store, which would have been, 36th, would have been about 36 blocks down across a freeway, or at least a highway, Dishman-Micah Highway. We would wait until there were no cars. We would cross that highway. We would go in and buy penny candies, and sometimes when we were particularly rich, nickel candies. The owners knew us. They knew how far away we lived. When we grew up, we rode our bikes there. Oftentimes, we'd be gone the entire day on our bikes, sometimes up in the mountains, sometimes doing dangerous things like walking on railroad tracks and across a railroad bridge. We actually did that. No, it's not the movie Stand By Me. It was us. So free range was the way of things. And during that time, only 5 of my friends were kidnapped. Actually, none of them were kidnapped. I'm the one of 2 friends who've ever been partially kidnapped. Now, it did happen to us, but I was living in Seattle as an adult. My friend Jim happened to him when he was in high school. And it wasn't about being free range. It was about standing at a bus stop in his case. In my case, it was as simple as walking into my car in a ghetto in Seattle. This happened in Georgia. I'll show you this video and give you some idea of what went on, as well as the law upon which the so-called police officers predicated the decision to slam this woman into handcuffs. Maybe that's unfair, to put her in cuffs. It can seem so unfair when you watch things like this, and it is, that it's good to have fairness where it comes. I can't provide you any fairness today because this is stinking unfair. My friends at Bioptimizers don't care about the rest of the world. They just care about us. It's not true. Matt and Wade are very caring people, but they decided, in a way of recognizing and celebrating another year of doing business together, thank you guys at Bioptimizers, to take 25% off the entire site. So we've re-upped our agreement to continue to work together. The products they use, or they create and they use, because they do use them, have helped me change my fitness life. If you're watching the video version of this, this is me at about 209.5 pounds, about 9% body fat. When I began my fitness journey, I was almost 400 pounds. At one point, I was about 35% body fat. When I started doing CrossFit, I was at about 19% body fat. That is CrossFit here with a coach in Idaho. That was about the time I started taking the Bioptimizers products. So 25% off everything on their site. There are gut stack programs for gut health. There's immune stacks. There are sleep stacks. There are individual sleep products. There's famous products like Magnesium Breakthrough, which can help you sleep through the night, help you with relaxation, help you not store cortisol in your body, which will cause your body to maintain fat. There's products you probably haven't heard of, like P3OM, which is a powerful prebiotic, will make sure you get more nutrition for every bite of food you eat. And then there's an absolutely stellar product called Masszymes, which has been shown in a test at Birch International University to produce 1,200% more amino acids in your body than not using it. Amino acids build proteins. Proteins build muscle. There's also books. All of it 25% off only for you. Bioptimizers.com/Todd. Use promo code Todd, and you'll also qualify for $100 in free gifts. Bioptimizers.com/Todd. Use promo code Todd. So the mother's name is Brittany Patterson. And her 10-year-old son was home with his grandpa. And he'd been home for 90 minutes, and that number matters. 90 minutes matters. And the boy did something crazy that boys never do. He decided to go on a walk along a road with a 25 to 30 mile per hour speed limit. He decided to go visit a friend of his mother who works at a gas station. Wow. Just like Chester Store when I grew up. And a very helpful neighbor, very helpful, called the police because there was a boy walking. I understand that neighbor also picked the boy up and brought him home. Did the neighbor have permission to do that? The police, so-called, decided to show up at the house. Now, I get it. We're just taking orders. If your order includes doing things like this, can I ask you to reflect upon the fact that you are not a law enforcement officer? You are a harasser of mothers. This is the cop at the door.
Yeah, that one's a
Female cop with, oh, look,
Hey,
a
Brittany.
colorful
I
cartoon
need you to come
tattoo.
out here. No, not 1 second. I need you to come out here.
Hey guys, can I call y'all right back in just a second? I've got somebody at the door here. Thank you. All right, bye.
Mineral Bluff, Georgia,
Yes,
rural
ma'am.
Is
community.
there somebody else here with the kids besides your grandpa?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Huh? No, there's nobody here but Pa.
So there is the boy talking
Turn around for
inside.
me.
Why?
Because you're under arrest
For what?
for the incident we talked about earlier today.
What am I under arrest for?
For reckless endangerment.
And how was I
Turn around.
recklessly endangering my
We're not
child?
talking about it.
Soren, call mommy and tell them they're taking me to jail because you decided to walk down the street.
Let go of your hands.
That's not his fault.
Yeah.
Oh, do you hear the cop? Now she's going to tone police. Now she's going to tone police the mother who says, because you decided to walk down the street. That mother's not castigating her son. She's pointing out the utter absurdity of this.
Oh, Mommy.
You're the mother. That's your responsibility to
Yeah,
keep
I
up with
need
your
you to not
child.
talk to me, please.
That's
Okay,
true.
Soren, give her a call. Okay.
I need.
Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store. So
It is when they're 10 years old.
Yeah, it's actually not. And we'll get into this.
it is?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to see that on the books.
Okay. Well, you'll see it on your warrant.
Great.
I need somebody here to stay with the kids.
I don't have anybody.
Do you want to take this watch off? Or you want to take
Okay.
it with you?
Well, then I'm calling defects.
Soren, come here. Hey, come here, let me talk to her. Hey,
What's going
can
on?
you hear me?
Yes.
The police are here and they're taking me to jail. So I need you to come stay with the kids.
319 pound, 1042.
No, I'm not kidding. It's ridiculous.
I'll be there just for 5 minutes.
Okay. They're taking me to jail.
I love you.
Love you too, baby.
You keep coming in that.
I'll be back.
Incidentally, the teen girl who comes to the door is more than capable of taking care of the kids. You can tell that by looking at her, and everybody knows it. The Free Press reports on this. Technically, there is no reckless endangerment charge in Georgia. Wait. The so-called police officer just said she's being arrested for reckless endangerment. But there's no reckless endangerment charge in Georgia. She's actually charged with reckless conduct, punishable by up to a year in jail and a $1,000 fine. Patterson's lawyer, David DeLugas, told me, this is Barry Weiss, the writer, almost 3 decades ago, that same charge was brought against Rosalind Hall, a mother who went on a date and left her 11-year-old son to babysit her other 3 kids, aged 1, 3, and 5. While she was out, her 3-year-old son died of a head injury. But when the state tried to prosecute Hall, the Georgia Supreme Court threw out the case and deemed the law unconstitutional. Patterson, who has 3 other children older than Soren, is married to John, a superintendent at a Native American school system in Montana, where he spends most of his time. But her father, who's disabled and doesn't drive, lives with Patterson and her kids and is home all the time. Under Georgia state law, kids between the ages of 9 and 11 can be left alone for up to 2 hours. Patterson left Soren, who was just days from turning 11, at home with his grandfather for 90 minutes. She did not give Soren permission to walk to town by himself, although if she had, DeLugas said, it would not have been constituted a criminal act. So the boy was home for 90 minutes, well within the 2-hour window. He's 11, well within the age. The cop was either incorrect or lied as to why Brittany was being arrested. If you are my age and I am 57, this is going to be utterly absurd and enraging to you, and it should be, because boys should be allowed to walk to a stinking gas station. Sometimes kids make mistakes. Sometimes adults make mistakes. The big mistake here is to show this little boy that cops are in the business of arresting mothers because boys went on a walk.